Well, hey there, everybody. A few showers moving onshore today. So far, at least for the past hour or so, the Savannah area has been pretty dry. I want to take you outside, show you what it looks like here as a few more people join on in. You can see those puffy cumulus clouds after a shower went over Savannah earlier today. It's not so bad right now. So if you guys are tuning in on Facebook, I've got my phone in front of me and I will be looking at your questions as we go throughout this. I'm going to talk about those rain chances here today, tomorrow going into the weekend, and then of course the tropics pretty active, so of course we'll take a look at that as well. But first I want to show you where it's raining right now. Safe Touch Security First Alert live radar, and I want to start by saying I hope you guys having a good day so far. It's Friday Eve, getting closer to the weekend. Most of the rain right now is in our southern half here of the viewing area. The low country staying pretty dry here. Light shower going toward the Hinesville area, but you can see as the sweeping radars go through there, not too much going on in the way of heavy rainfall at all. But looking offshore, I think the areas that are getting rain now have the best chance of continuing to get those showers as we go into the afternoon. And I think the further south you are, the better chance you have of getting some of those stronger, or I guess not really stronger, but heavier showers. So let's look at the next few hours here as we go into the afternoon. Maybe you're getting off work just a little bit early today and you get outside, you get in the car, it's going to be very hot. It is summertime, we're used to that. It's going to feel like the upper 90s here as we go into the afternoon hours, but I think with those clouds developing, bubbling up a little bit, a few showers out there, peak heating probably closer to 2 today. It's going to start cooling down a little bit as we go into the mid-afternoon. So maybe a little bit of good news for you as you go into the afternoon. We'll take a look at these highs and sing hello to a few people in here. Misty, Chris, Barbie, Annika, Tammy, Sierra, Brenda, Lisa, Jennifer. Thanks for tuning on in here. Highs today likely going to be very similar to what it has been lately. We're going to have upper 80s along the coast, lower 90s inland. I just showed you what it's going to feel like as we go into the afternoon. Really going to be mid to upper 90s with just about a 30% chance of getting your car, your pavement, your yard wet. And some of those, yes, will be in the afternoon. But let's go ahead and look to the evening, because Thursday night, date night for some folks, and looks like for the most part we're going to be dodging these isolated showers out there, especially after sunset. So maybe you're going to a movie, you're going to dinner, you're going out on the town on a Thursday. Well, that's fun. I'm not going to. I wish I could be out there joining you. But this evening after sunset, notice here, especially along the coast, very, very dry here. This is actually a very similar pattern to what we're going to see tomorrow as well. And I'll kind of go through this pretty quickly, because I bet some of you guys really just want to know what's happening in the tropics. Morning, mid-70s, just a slight chance of those isolated onshore showers moving onshore, just like they have been the past couple of days if you guys have been up early. Very, very similar pattern here. We're not stuck, isn't really the word for it, but it's kind of a rinse and repeat here. I think that we could actually have a few more showers for your Friday morning commute, especially if you live closer to the coast. Yes, that includes school buses and maybe by noon, so this time tomorrow, or going on this time tomorrow, a little bit more rain showing up on the radar, maybe one or two heavier downpours compared to what we're seeing now as well. But severe weather, not happening, not really in the forecast. And looks like 91 once again. So that gets today, tomorrow out of the way. Let's see what folks are saying here. Darcy saying she wants a Florence update, and you got it. I'm there for you. I got it. And this is what's going on with Florence. So the National Hurricane Center just came out with their 11 o'clock update, and overall there's really not a huge change in what's been going on here for the past, say, 12 hours or the last time you probably got an update. And I will say, I do advise that you check back in with us at least once a day, whether it's with myself, Cutter, Jamie, Dave, because this is going to be very interesting in the next few days. So the next couple of days, this is going to track west-northwest, but once we get Sunday into Monday, the potential shift to the north will be very, very important to if the East Coast has an impact or not. And quite frankly, not necessarily a concrete forecast whatsoever, but I'll show you what we do know. This is actually going to continue a bit of a weakening trend. Right now it's moving to the northwest 10 miles an hour and the sustained wind at 105. So we got a Cat 2, likely going to go down to a Cat 1 over the weekend. But that does not mean to let your guard down, because it's going to get into a little bit more favorable conditions for development. And now this cone of uncertainty, it widens out a lot. So that just goes to show you that there's a lot of uncertainty with this. It could take this northern curve, which I will say most guidance is suggesting that it will take that curve a little bit sooner. But if not, then that's when we could have that impact in the mid-Atlantic and maybe up toward New England. That uncertainty on that is not very high, but it is a chance worth talking about, which is what we're doing. But also notice Category 3 by Monday morning again and going into Tuesday as well. And it could be underdoing it potentially. We could have even stronger winds than that. So is this worth worrying about? No, not at all. Don't worry about this, but it's worth just checking back with every day. And it is hurricane season, so you guys should have your hurricane kits ready anyways. Now, this is something else that's interesting. It is the peak hurricane season, so you'd expect more happening. And this is Invest 92L. So this is way back. So this is the west coast of Africa there. And this is what we're looking at, likely going to be our next name system. So over the next 2 days, 70% chance that this gets named. In the next 5 days, almost a guarantee there with a 90% chance. So this one a little bit more interesting, because if I zoom out here for you, notice how this is a little bit further south. So it gives it a little bit more chance to hit some land interaction there versus Florence, which is up here right now and will likely curve north. Whereas if you get a storm that's further south, obviously you have more land down there. And even so, looking at this other tropical wave that's coming off of West Africa right now, this one's even more a little bit along those same lines as well. So this one over the next 2 days, not really expecting much of anything. It's got to get out over the water first, still over land essentially. But over the next 5 days, 50-50 shot, likely going to have another name system with this as well. So hopefully this is giving you a good update. And I guess I'll put it back on Florence here, because that's going to be the big story here weather-wise as we go through the next few days, even though I want to stress to you guys that right now there's nothing for us to be worried about. It's just pay attention to it, because this is still going to be, you know, a handful to a week away for any impact for us. But maybe you have family that live in more so the mid-Atlantic, further up north. They have a little bit better chance of, if this doesn't curve out sooner, to be impacted by this. So something that we're definitely keeping our eyes on here. See if there are any questions going on here. Darcy says, thank you. You're very welcome. We've got a few people. Eric says, love the tie. Oh, thank you. Carol says, good morning. Karen as well. Got someone asking when the cool weather is going to arrive. Well, bad news. Doesn't look like anytime soon. In fact, the Climate Prediction Center has us staying pretty warm here through the middle of September, which is what you expect. Average high for us is in the upper 80s, and we're actually going to be a little bit above that. So out kicking our coverage a little bit for temperature-wise here as well. I do have that 7-day forecast, and it's somewhat redundant. You know, it's just how it is. I'd like to give you something exciting, but not tropical. But I know a lot of people are kind of begging for a cool down, but the reality of it is that we've got these warm temperatures and afternoon rain chances each day, with a little bit better chances as we go into next week. And then of course these rain chances, depending on what Florence does, which will again have a much better idea Sunday, Monday, if it curves north or not. These rain chances will reflect that potentially. So very fluid situation, just being very transparent with you guys, not acting like I know something I don't, but it's something that we're definitely keeping our close eye on here, and right now we're not concerned. So if we're not concerned, I don't think you guys need to be concerned at all. But if you guys have questions, you've got this at your disposal. So Joanne asking, what are the chances Florence hitting South Carolina, Georgia border? At this point, just right now, this minute, less than 10% is what I would say. But that's going to change and fluctuate every day. So I guess we'll just go over the radar one more time real quick before I leave you guys. I'm going to be here for the noon show if you want the latest data as well. There is one heavier shower, not any lightning with this whatsoever, about to cross over Highway 57. Other than that, just some light showers dotting the area. And I do want to leave on this note, though, because this is a tool that we have on our website, and I don't know if everybody knows about this yet. This is our First Alert Hurricane Center. You can go on here and see what's happening out in the Atlantic. You can click on these, and then if, say, a storm was to get a little bit closer to us, you could see what the chance was for tropical storm force winds. You can also check out the latest radar, and of course we have the interactive radar as well. Rainfall totals. This is just going to be from the past 24 or the next 24 hours. No alerts, obviously, but say we get in a situation down the line that this is something that we're dealing with, because we still have, over a month and a half left of traditional hurricane season, this might become useful, and I want you guys to know about it ahead of time. So I hope that you guys have a good rest of your day, and tune in for the news at noon for the latest, and we'll chat then.